Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Traders 20 on ET Now. I'm Megha Chadha.
Morning, everyone. I'm Avan Dabash. Well, as you all know, Traders 20, this is the show where we get you a daily dose of 20 fresh stock ideas so that you can have a profitable trading day. Our technical experts will be with us over the next 30 minutes to identify some of the most exciting bets in the markets.
And well, alongside all those equity trading ideas, we'll also be showcasing commodity picks as well as strategies that would help you make the best of the futures and options market. So let's get started with first up telling you about the 6 technical experts who would be joining us on the show. Well, we've got Ashwini Gujral joining in from New Delhi as always. Mitesh Thakkar, Sandeep Wagle, as well as Shrikant Chauhan are here with us in Mumbai, Rajat Bose in Kolkata and Deepak Mohani in Pune.
Well, not a bad start to the equity markets, but we seem to be lingering at that position, so not really built up on the momentum. 6,036 on the Nifty, that's how we're trending at present. In terms of the Sensex, it's a build-up of close to 33 points, 19,940 on last tick. A pretty healthy advanced decline ratio is what you're spotting. Well, it's individual stocks that are holding up pretty smartly. You've got TCS clearly leading the way, Ambuja and ACC also having a great run-up. Bharti Airtel also featuring on the gainer side high by close to 1.5%. Apart from that, you've got select counters from metals as well as defensives and oil and gas holding up. So BPCL, Axis Bank, L&T, Tata Steel as well as ITC in the limelight on the upside. Ultratech Cement also showing you quite a bit of traction. But moving away, let's also point out some of the big losers in the session. You've got Kotak Mahindra Bank coming under pressure. Asian Paints is looking a bit soft. Hero MotoCorp, as we speak, is off by 1%. Remember, quite a bit of news floating around that one. Unilever and Dr. Reddy is down by close to 0.6 and 0.8% respectively. HCL Technologies and Infosys, after seeing a good run-up, is now seeing a little bit of profit booking. Well, that's how the markets are panning out, and you've got the Nifty still holding up smartly. Remember, we did manage to breach the psychological level of 20,000 in early morning trade, but has slipped off from those levels. Good time as any to start off then with Traders 20, not before we give you a disclaimer. Please do remember to consult your financial advisor if at all you will be taking positions in any of the stocks. Ashwini Gujral and Mitesh Thakkar, our first 2 technical experts standing by. Ashwini, what's your sense on the Nifty? Are we likely to build up from these levels? And what would you recommend in terms of top trading recommendations?
Well, my view is that the risk reward from current levels is not favorable. Also, we haven't really built up. If you see, TCS made the high of the day at its open, and post that it has been a decline on TCS, it hasn't gone up. So this has been an exhaustion gap. It's quite likely that after maybe 1 or 2 days of hanging around these 6,030 levels, we could reverse, because my view is more sideways rather than great upside. We are not getting great global support as well, so I'm not too positive in the immediate term on the market. As far as stock calls are concerned, Havells is a buy with a stop about 680, target of 725. REC is a buy with a stop about 251, target of 266. A couple of sell calls. Sterlite is a sell with a stop about 119, target of 110. Sesa Goa is a sell with a stop about 201, target of 185.
Okay, so high beta is the pocket that Ashwini is betting on for the day. 2 longs and 2 shorts being recommended right now. Mitesh, tell us about what you're making of the benchmarks right now. It was touch and go with that 20,000 mark earlier in the session, but are you holding that as an important level to be monitoring?
In fact, the breakout in the Nifty was around 60.30 on the spot. I think we just achieved that in the last few minutes. The market has kind of shown momentum. I think yesterday's move was very important in the sense that it kind of repaired the damage on the momentum indicators of the intraday chart. So I think that's important. I think as long as now we are not going below 5990, I think I would still be trading on balance on the long side, though we are not as aggressive as we were a couple of weeks back. But I think the positions have to be on the long side clearly, because one, we have not got any decline or correction. I was in fact waiting for some kind of declines to happen to initiate fresh long positions, but I think that hasn't happened clearly. So in the short term, I'll take a positive bias, and I would look for mostly buy calls. Today I've identified a Bharti with a stop at 330 for a short term target of 345, where we have seen some fresh intraday buy signals. IOC is a buy with a stop at 289 for a target of 306. It's managed to get past levels of 291. I think that was an important supply point. I think getting past an area where a lot of supply was expected, I think clearly indicates that buying is pretty strong, and I would expect some more upsides to happen over here. Hexaware is a buy with a stop at 89.25, target of 98. I think it's already started moving up in the last few minutes, but I think around the 91.5, 92 mark can be bought with a stop at about 89.25. That's a stock which is reversing from oversold levels. And finally a buy on Godrej Industries, which is again a stock which has been making newer highs. Today we have seen some fresh buy signals on the intraday charts. Can be bought with a stop at 321.5 for target of 335 to about 336 on the upside.
Okay, those are some of the buying ideas that Mitesh is recommending this morning. But let's get in some individual queries answered. We had a slew of IPOs recently. So the first one comes in on one of the recent listings. That's PC Jewelers. We've got a live caller with us. Rajan Iyer joins in on the phone line from Mumbai with his query on the same. Hi Rajan, thanks for being with us. What's your query?
Good morning, madam. I have been allotted 90 shares of PC Jewelers recently at the IPO price, and I am a long-term investor. I won't mind waiting for 18 months. So, is it worth waiting? Because I would also like to buy Griha Finance. So, can you just recommend me what should I do?
You know, first of all, we still are not sure about what kind of corporate governance all of these, family-owned jewelers might have. This gives me a deja vu feeling of the time realty stocks came into the market. First 3 years, they had great moves. And finally, all of them are probably now 1/10 of their market price. So this is something to keep in mind. I mean, these guys are not used to great accountability or transparency. So, having said that, now that you are in the money in PC Jewelers, keep a 155 type of stop loss, and chances are you will get 190 and maybe even 230. But remember, PC Jewelers is no Larsen and Toubro or Reliance or stuff that has longevity and lots of background. So if you take that into account, please trust the price and not any other conviction that there is great jewelry demand and Indians love jewelry, etc. Those things didn't work out with real estate. Chances are they will not work out here as well.
Okay, that's a word of advice coming in on a PC jeweler. Mr. Iyer, hope you've taken note of all the levels that Ashwini's recommended. Away from that, let's take up the next query as well. This one also comes in on a recent listing, that's specialty restaurants. We've got Prashant Chera on the line with us from Mumbai. Prashant, hi, thanks very much for calling in. Tell us about your question. Okay, it's actually via an email. Now, Prashant's picked up about 50 shares of a specialty restaurants at 200 rupees a share. He wants to now know whether he should hold on or exit. Ashwini is working with a time horizon of about 3 months.
Well, it's not done anything much in the last 1 year, so I don't think 3 months will make a difference. And, it's been in this 160, 190 kind of zone. Even Titan, which is the great consumption story, even that hasn't done well in the last couple of months. So I would, move on, because there's no point sitting in on a particular stock if it's not moving. These days, the flavor of this month is rate sensitives. So, consumption was a flavor at some point. Today, you got to be in rate sensitive if you want to make money in the next 3 months. So I would suggest moving on. Even otherwise, this stock didn't do too well when consumption was going great.
Okay, an underperformer, preferably move on to something else. That's the word on specialty restaurants, which, by the way, is showing you good traction as we speak. Our last and final query for the day comes in on Crompton Greens. We've got Mr. M. Thangaraju, who sent this via email. Now, he's bought 150 shares of Crompton Greens at an average price of 125 rupees per share. He now wants to know at what levels he should exit with a time horizon of the next 3 months.
Yeah, we just heard the management, and the problem with this management is that their stocks remain range bound for a number of years because they make mistakes which they don't rectify too quickly. A, the sector capital goods is under pressure. B, the stock has or the company has company specific problems. So it's going to be a long haul. I mean, he's lucky that he's bought at 125 and is losing only $5. But again, you are betting against hope that, something will change and, it'll start moving up. Maybe that happens, but that chance is, 1 in 1,000. Because once companies get into trouble, it takes a long time for them to recover and get back into any kind of shape. So he would be much better off. Again, like I'm saying, that these days, the banks, the real estate stocks, that's where you need to be focusing on. I don't think we have seen any movement on capital goods.
Prudent to have a sectoral shift into the rate sensitives, particularly bank and real estate. That's a word of advice coming in. Hope, Mr. Thangaraju, we got your query answered. Well, here's a quick disclaimer. Do remember to consult your financial advisor before taking any positions in the stocks recommended.
The markets are decidedly perky at this point in time. It's in fact pretty steady session of trade that's going on, and even in the broader markets, we're seeing the mid-cap index that's added on a good 0.6% right now. And what's leading this particular pocket high is IT. So you've got a Hexaware that's notched up a gain of close to 3.8%. So it's at 93 right now. Amtech Autos also seeing some buying today. Remember, Amtech Autos lost close to 8% over the last 5 days. South Indian Bank, Havells, so 2.5% higher for that particular name. Madras Cements as well as Bajaj Finserv also is seeing good traction right now. In fact, both those names have added on over 2%. On the losing side, we've got a Marico that's seeing some bit of pressure, as is a Uniforce that's off by 1%. Chambal Fertilizer as well as a Pantaloon Retail is also lower by about 1%.
Okay, that's how the broader markets are shaping up. Let's get in Sandeep Wagle as well as Shrikant Chauhan, who now join in to dole out their top trading recommendations. Hi Sandeep, what's on your list today?
When I have a buy in Hexaware, I think Megha mentioned that a buy with a stop loss of 89.80, target of 96, a very clear price and volumes breakout in the hourly charts. The second one is a buy in Axis Bank, stop loss of 1401, target of 1440. A similar reason, price and volumes breakout in daily chart. The only thing is Axis Bank will come out with the results, so there can be some amount of choppiness. So maybe you can get a chance to buy a little bit on a declines. The third one is a sell in JP Power, stop loss of 38.60, target of 34. A price and a volumes break down in the daily charts. So all of these stocks are for the next 1 or 2 days time horizon.
Okay, so buy into an Axis Bank possibly ahead of its numbers, as well as a Hexaware. And Hexaware seems to be quite a favorite because Shrikant, you also got it as one of your picks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think markets is very close to its previous high, and again here we have to focus on mid-cap stocks because overall the performance whatever is coming from the same basket. So in that no doubt Hexaware has form we can say rounding bottom kind of formation on intraday charts, and certainly it is heading for 98, 99 levels in next 1 or 2 days. The second one is I can say REC Limited, which is around 256, 255 levels, and from here I am expecting stock to trade somewhere around 275, 277 in next 1 or 2 days. Again, the stop loss is around 245 levels, which is its weekly breakout level, and the stock is forming higher top, higher bottom kind of formation on daily charts. And the last one is Escorts. The stock has formed inverse head and shoulder on daily chart, and yesterday the stock has completed its pullback to the neckline around 73, 74 levels. So from here around 68, 69 levels. So from here I'm expecting stock to trade somewhere around 82, 83 in next 1 or 2 days. So all these three are on the buying side with a 1 or 2 days view.
REC, Hexaware and Escorts, that's what Shrikant is recommending. Well, the small cap index is currently holding up by just about 30 points as we speak. Let's point out then how some of the gainers are shaping up at this point in time. You've got Goenka Diamonds. Remember, for the second day on the trot, you're seeing so much traction on this one. So it's 5.5% higher as we speak. Apart from that, you've got KEC International, which has perked up very smartly in the session. Deccan Chronicle also is in the limelight on the upside for the second day on the row. You've got HCL Technology on account of restructuring its business, HCL Info, which is holding up very well. Madhukan Projects, also some news seems to be brewing on that one, and that's keeping the counter fairly active. On the downside though, you've got Ashia International. Take a look at the kind of price and volume activity you're seeing day after day being thrashed. Fame India is currently at 51. Zodiac Clothing is having a bit of an off day. Sri Ganesh Jewelry, remember you had witnessed quite a bit of buying activity in some of these counters yesterday, but this one is bucking the trend today, so it's 124.5, and Hindustan Oliver in the red.
Okay, let's move on then and talk with Rajat as well as Deepak to get their trading thoughts right now. And Rajat, the markets of course are holding up very nicely, but you've still got something that you think one can short as well as two longs.
Yeah, right. What I have chosen as a short sale might be a little bit of a surprise to you, because my feeling is that the stock Infosys has actually moved up considerably, and there can be a minor course correction, and that is what is likely. So basically it's an intraday call, and that's why I've chosen that. Sell Infosys, top above 2810 and a target of 2758. The other two buy calls are buy Tata Motors with a stop below 327.90, that's the day's low, and a target could be 337 or even higher. And ACC is also showing quite a bit of traction in today's trading. 1410 could be your target, and 1366 is your stop loss. So all three are large cap nifty stocks, and they are intraday bets, both on the long side as well as on the short side.
Okay, sticking to the big boys in the market, that is what Rajat Bose is recommending. What about you, Deepak?
Going with three buys, we are holding out pretty well today, despite quite a few markets slipping into the red in Asia. So the underlying trend is looks like it's intact, and any stock showing individual strength is a reasonably okay buy. First of these is REC with a stop loss of 252 and a target of 266. Stock had corrected for a week and seems to have started a new upswing today. Reliance Communications, RCom, that's also a buy with a stop loss of 82.5, target of 87. It made a pretty strong move yesterday itself, but it was a bit subdued this morning, seems to be picking up again, so good entry point. And finally, Arvind with a stop loss of 103, target of 109. This has been going up since mid-August. It had a bit of a pause, it started to move again today, so a good entry point. All three trades are short-term trades. Targets, if reached, should be there within a week or so.
So REC, Relcom and Arvind is what you can look at buying as per Deepak. Let's move on then and talk about what's happening with the commodity space as well. Our commodities and currencies editor Manisha Gupta is right here with us. Manisha, hi. Tell us about what's happening as far as crude as well as base and precious metals are concerned.
Well, thank you for that, Megha. It looks like a positive day in case of commodities, with the dollar index trading on the lower side and the dollar itself trading at around 10-month lows versus the euro, with kind of statement that you have been hearing from Bernanke on the possibility of a continuous stimulus is something that really is bothering that space. But the money flow could be coming into commodities, so this space actually is trading on the higher side. The gold prices, for that matter, have cleared 1670 on the higher side. Good gains coming in for that one. And while many broking houses are calling gold prices to peak in 2013, you still have Soros and Paulson holding their very strong positions in gold ETFs, continuing with that one. Silver prices also back above $31 an ounce are quite a strength show there. We have seen good gains come in case of the crude prices as well. After 5 weeks of continuous gains, this week also has started on a positive note. $94 per barrel holding on the higher side there. Also, it's not just about the crude prices. If you also look at the natural gas, that one is trading at the highest level in 2 weeks. You also have seen gasoline prices gain up. So the whole of energy sector in the markets today is doing quite well. And also the industrial commodities, if you look at the iron ore prices, the base metal prices also seem to be doing well. The economic data from US and China has been positive, and market really taking strong cues from all of that. How do you trade then on all of those commodities? For that, let's get in Hitesh Jain from IIFL, and he joins us live on the show. Hitesh, hi, welcome. How would you look at the gold prices at these current levels, from the kind of lows of 1638 in the first week of Jan to the current levels? How have you read the range?
The fact that the Federal Reserve Chairman has actually to a certain extent downplayed the speculation regarding the early end to the bond buying program, this could prove supportive for the precious complex as a whole. And for today, I think we would prefer to buy gold and silver as well. We would prefer to buy gold February contract around 30,750 with a target of 3900 and a stop loss of 3650. For silver, I think silver prices have actually found a good bottom around 57,000 levels, and have been successfully sustaining well above those levels, which actually inclines us to buy silver March around 58,870 with a target of 59,250 and a stop loss of 58,600.
All right, Hitesh, thank you so much for joining us. So there are buy calls coming in for the precious metal space. Remember, it's the weak US dollar which really seems to be supporting the commodities and of course the precious metal markets there. With that, it's back to you, Avan.
Manisha, thanks very much for joining in and giving us all of those commodity trading strategies. Here's a disclaimer for all our viewers. Please do remember to consult your financial advisor if at all you will be taking on positions in the stocks recommended. To our 6 technical experts, great having you with us on the show. Thanks very much for your trading picks.